All right, you guys. In the live stream, I couldn't show everybody all of this. So now that the sun is going down a little better and I'm not live and I don't have to worry about Wi-Fi breaking up, I can show you my pear trees a little better. And everything I was trying to show in my last live video, this is that Orient pear. And you can see it's loaded full of pears. It was hard to see in the last video, but in this one you can really get a chance to see. This tree is loaded every single year since the day I put it in. The day I brought it back from the store, it was loaded. It does this every year, no matter what. It even did this when the car knocked it over. All of this new growth, you see it leaning down there. I just left it alone because you can't stand it up anymore now. And all of these limbs are growing straight up. I'm just gonna let them go. But this is that Orient pear. If you don't have a pear tree, get an Orient pear. I promise you, you will never be sorry. You're gonna get tons of pears super early, almost as soon as you plant it. And it's gonna grow really fast. And the pears are delicious. And it's disease resistant. Now here's my Hosui Asian pear tree. I don't know what's going on, and knock on wood, but the squirrels ain't messing with nothing this year. Kind of scary actually, because every year I get tons of these Asian pears like this, and the squirrels just tear them all up. I never even get one. They would have been gone by now, so I'm hoping that the squirrels leave everything alone this year. Every year they're loaded. Last year was even loaded, even heavier than this one. The limbs were almost breaking down. I want y'all to look at something else too, okay? This tree, I cut it in half because this tree does get fire blight. I cut it down here and it just grows right back every year. That's why it's still so small. But every year, no matter what I do, no matter how I cut it, it's always loaded full of fruit all over the tree. So I really wanted to show that and make sure everybody saw. This is the Hosui Asian pear tree, and it tastes kind of like butterscotch. It's like a real buttery, crisp, appley taste. Really good pear. Now here's my Shinko Asian pear tree, same scenario. It's always loaded. It always catches fire blight, and I end up cutting it every year. But you can see this year, it got a nice amount of pears on it. It's not super loaded, but I'll take anything as long as the squirrels don't get me. You know, you see that? So we doing pretty good so far. I take that. So far we doing way better than we've been doing. So what I want to show you guys now is this pear tree. I do not know what kind of pear tree this is. The tag got lost, and I think the tag was wrong in the first place. But as if you can see this, every year since the very day I put it in, it's loaded like it's grapes. It's like bunches like grapes on every freaking branch. All the way down, every single branch. All the way up, all the way down. Loaded. If you can see all of those, like loaded with fruit. All the way up. This tree grew so fast, I don't know what the deal is. But I will tell you how I planted it. I started planting stuff a little different a few years back. I stopped digging really deep holes and just kind of doing a surface method. I just been like kind of scraping the grass away and like divvy it out a little bit and set the whole root ball on the top of the ground, and then mound up soil around it. And that's exactly what I did with this tree, and it went bananas. When I bought this tree, it was probably this thin as my thumb, and now got a big old thigh on her. Look at that. This is the most loaded pear tree I have ever seen in my life. And I'm not even playing. I'm talking about as young as it is. It's the most loaded tree that I have ever owned at this early stage in age, even more loaded than the Orient Pear at this stage in age. Now, the other sweet part about this pear tree is so far it has been super disease resistant. I haven't had fire blight or anything else happen to this tree. I've had it in the ground maybe 2 years, but it does this every year. Last year, the squirrels got it, like they do all of them. But this year, it grew like crazy over the winter, and this year it's like really just showing off. Now, everybody's seen Lady Led's lettuce growing like crazy. It's like crazy. It haven't even bolted yet, probably because it ain't got as hot as it should be by now. And here is my biggest Orient pear tree, super loaded. See, I'm glad I'm recording this again so you guys can really get a chance to see exactly what you will be looking at in about 4 or 5 years. This tree every year is loaded even heavier than this. This is a good haul, but remember, the squirrels gonna get their share. But so far, every single branch is draping and dripping with nice sized, big fat Orient pears, just like this. Again, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna repeat myself. If you want one good tree that's gonna perform for you like this every single time, get a pear tree. Whether you getting a pear tree just to eat because you like pears like me, or you just trying to show off for YouTube. If you trying to get the views and the clicks and you want a show off tree, this is that show off tree. This is that fancy exotic car of the gardening community. You want a pear tree that's gonna perform and do this each and every freaking time. So you can say, look what I've done. Orient pear, look. Every single branch. I could do this all day and show you every branch. So high up, I ain't gonna be able to reach them. So I'm hoping that that's for the squirrels. If they're gonna eat it way up there. You know, every branch just booming till this tree drapes down. Now this one is the tree that I had grafted everything on, all the different pear trees, but they always catch fire blight. This was originally a Bartlett, and I cut the Bartlett off, I cut the Moon Glow and all the other pears off and left the Orient pear limb, and now it's receiving all that energy from that stump that I left down here. It's receiving all that energy, and now it's going off too. See what I'm saying? So it has fruited as well. And that's off of just one branch that I left. All that energy is going right in here. See that? So hopefully, if I maintain and see these suckers here, this is Bartlett pear trees and everything else trying to grow back. And all I do is keep tearing that off because I don't want those trees growing no more. They just trouble. They don't do good for me. They don't work well. I don't want no other pear tree growing on this stump. I don't want them taking no energy away from this Orient Pear. So every time I see a sucker growing out of the stump, I'm gonna break it off like that while it's still young and green. So far, that's it. Well, no, see this? See that? That's a piece of Bartlett, because that's the original stump. Here goes some Bartlett. Take that off. And tomorrow I'm gonna come back and really get down in there. But this is what I wanted to show you guys in that video before that I really couldn't show you because of the Wi-Fi was breaking up and everything else. So show you this as well. The pomegranates is going off. So far I haven't looked to see if it set any fruit, but every year we get pomegranates and I never record them anymore just because they get eaten so fast that before you know it, nothing else to record. So every year we get tons of flowers. Male flowers come first, then the female flowers, and then the females really start setting fruit. And then you have a tree full of, it look like Christmas decorations because the pomegranates get so big, bright and red, and then they get dark. Then you gotta hurry up and get them. But this is the pomegranate. And remember, this is the pomegranate that I cut in half about to my shoulder height. And I gave everybody cuttings of. This is that Parfianca pomegranate. So just to let you know, okay? I got them on both sides. Now let's go out here real quick so I can show you the other thing in that video that I didn't get a chance to show like I wanted to. I really wanted to show y'all my blueberry patch because I never get a chance to show you this. I don't come back here too much, but I know my blueberries grow like crazy. I made this patch and I'm gonna show you how I did it. This is all different kinds of blueberries, pink lemonade, just high bush, low bush, rabbit eye, you name it. Any kind of blueberry I could get my hands on, I was grabbing them and slamming in the ground. Some of them made it, some of them didn't. Only the strong survive. But I just wanted to show y'all, when people ask me, do I have blueberries? Just because I don't show everything all the time don't mean I don't got it. But I got them, and I got plenty. And I'm gonna show you how I set this up to make it easy for me. Okay. When I set this blueberry patch up, you see that? Look at that. That's insane. When I set up this blueberry patch, if you can see this right, I set it in a horseshoe shape, like this. It went around almost in a full circle, and I left myself just enough space to be able to come up in here and throw compost right up in there. That's the only reason I did that. And you can still see compost down there on the ground because I threw leaves, kitchen scraps, everything I could think of. Cow manure, whatever you can, chicken manure, I would throw it in here. And what that did is feed the whole circle. So I'm not putting individual feedings on each plant. I just throw everything in here, and the root system is under here. So it's literally feeding everything in a circle. And it's just been here thriving. Now I don't hardly do anything to it, and it pumps out blueberries every year. Here's this one still got a label on it, a Premier. But you see, even though this branch is dead, this one might be dead, but the ones that shoot up, the new growth, they might be Premier. So the new canes, look at this. I'm standing this tall. This is as tall as I am. I didn't even see this. And they all about to start turning colors. The bird's gonna tear them out the frame. So I just wanted to show y'all blueberries too. I just never show them that much, right? They go off and we eat them up every year. And everybody wanted to see my bananas. Now, with this weird weather, my bananas have not bounced back like I would like them to, but they coming along. All my ice cream blue Java bananas, they're coming back. So just give them time. Here goes some right here. They all coming back. Before you know it, they'll be 20 feet tall and probably putting out bananas. Here's another one, patch here. So I wanted to show everybody all of that the other day, and I never got a chance to actually show you Bonita. For everybody that's new to my channel, Bonita is the flagship fruit tree of my whole land because she was the very first tree I planted when I moved in this house. Bonita is a Fuyu persimmon tree, and she got caught up in a storm, and I think she got hit by a tornado. I can't make this up. But I had to cut her literally a couple of inches over the graft line, and she started growing back. Man, I was hurt. But here she is today, and I think I cut her down to the stump probably 3 years ago, something like that. But here she is today. She back and she booming, full of babies, full of fruit, all over the tree. Now I can even show you how low that I had to cut her before she started growing. Check this out. Now this is her right here, right? As big as she is and as wide as she is. This is why I call her Bonita, and I named her and I planted her first, because she performs and produces like crazy. Now, this is how low I cut her down. All the way to the ground. In that one little stump. You see this? This is the size of my reading glasses. It's touching the ground now. Can you see that? This how low I cut it. And that one little piece grew out the side, and now she's a tree. I staked it up and left it staked up all of these years, and I just now took it's a fencing post stake. Now, just now took that fencing post up and let her stand on her own 2 feet, and here she is, pumping and putting out the fruit like she always did, like she never left. Bonita is back. Listen at all the frogs rejoice, Her Highness, that her branches is scraping the ground. Literally. Look, I'm pulling this off the ground. But I don't mind it being on the ground because the insects really don't bother it. And it kind of give her a little bit of stability. So all of this fruit that you see, when I say tons of it, she produces like crazy every year. She gives me 5-gallon buckets, plural, of fruit every year. And I think with just these few branches she got left, she's trying to make up for the branches that she lost, because these branches are loaded. Loaded. Now, Rasputia is a gyro persimmon tree. And this is her in all her glory and highness. Now, we can't leave out the pecan tree. This is Veronica, the Elliott pecan tree. Veronica, I planted her by accident. I did not plant her on purpose. Years ago, I set her down. I bought a pecan tree from a big box store, and I set it right there and forgot about it over the winter. Came back out, and she was rooted into the ground. So I just left her there. And here she is now. I think it's been like 5 years later. And here she is. And every year, she's loaded full of pecans. The only problem is the squirrels get them every year. Every year I think I'm gonna get something. I see squirrels up in here playing hide and go seek with my pecan tree. So every now and then we find a few on the ground and eat them, and they are delicious. But for the most part, the squirrels had their fun with this one. But I have several more. This is Big Al. Big Al is a desirable pecan tree. And every single year we get pecans off of this one. I don't know why the squirrels don't like the desirable pecan. This is the pecan tree that people like the most. So this tree here puts out the nuts every single year, every year. No matter what, you can't see nothing right now, but I guarantee you when it's time, you're gonna start, oh, here, you can see some right here, right now. You can see some nuts have been pollinated right there. You can see some here. Every year this happens, every single year. It's gonna have tons of nuts if we can get to them in time. But this is Big Al, the desirable pecan tree and the Elliott pecan tree. And I bought both of them from the big box store at separate times. I bought this one maybe 2 years later. That's why he's a little smaller than Veronica. So these two pollinate each other and they got some of the best nuts ever. And how can I leave out my other, these are my plantains. All of these here are my plantains. And they're coming back strong too. A lot of this stuff I'm gonna have to transfer over to Freedom Acres because I really want some of these bananas and plantains out there by the creek. And y'all know we are beekeepers, and every single year we get a swarm to come back home. Sometimes we lose a hive, but they always come back. Always. Not only do we have a hive there, oh, it smells so good, I can smell the honey. We caught another swarm right here. Now, we didn't do anything. They came here themselves. This is a whole nother swarm that went in here and posted up. So now we got 2 hives and we didn't do absolutely anything. They cleaned them out and everything. They had infestations of wax moth. And when these swarms came in, they came and cleaned that all out, kicked out all the losers and the bugs, and they took over. So that means you got you a strong hive. Now here's another tree that I've been telling everybody about. Here's another Asian pear tree. This Asian pear tree is the Shinseki. This is the Shinseki Asian pear tree. Now the reason why this one isn't as that big, it's in a perfect spot. It grows like crazy, but this one gets fire blight like you wouldn't believe. And every year I can show you how low I cut this tree. This how low I cut this tree every year. Like navel high, okay? And every year it grows back like this. So far, so good, because I haven't had to worry about fire blight yet. Usually this is about the time where I end up having to cut it down. But so far, so good. So the Shinseki Asian pear tree is delicious. If you ever get one, I'm just toughing it out with this one, hoping that it finally is mature enough to fight the disease and the fire blight and everything, and that way I can finally start getting some real fruit. Because it produces fruit, I just don't want to eat it because some of it look like it has fire blight on it. Okay, let's keep it moving. And wild blackberries with thorns are always sweeter than thornless. Don't get me wrong, thornless is delicious. Thorn wild blackberries are always sweeter than thornless. Okay, so this is how much I got of that just around this tree. By right, I'm really supposed to be removing these, but I don't want to remove them because everything likes to eat them and stay away from my fruit trees. Look at that. I did not plant those here. That's just inside of this cage. I don't cut inside of this cage because the beavers will eat this tree down. That's the only thing keeping them up. But as you see, it's berries all the way around. Now here is my apple tree that me and my son grafted. And every kind of apple you can think of is on this tree. And clearly I'm seeing that it does have fire blight, but a lot of it is still loaded with apples though. Some of them is Wolf River. I see Golden Delicious. I see Granny Smith. I can tell. Red Delicious, I can tell. Let me just show you. See, this is that fire blight that needs to get cut out. But you can see, it still produces like crazy. These apples will grow to full term. Now, this branch is a little weird to me. It's like it's not putting out anything. I don't know what kind of tree this is. But you see this? That's what fire blight does. It burns all the way down into the branch. So what I'm going to do is cut this entire thing off before it infects my entire tree. So I don't even know which kind of tree, apple tree that is. But again, even though it's sick, I stay loaded with fruit. Now these are southern apples, all of them that's growing. You can see them up here, all up here. So even though it does have a lot of fire blight, it still puts out tons of fruit. See all in there. We also have the Wolf River on here too. Like this right here is a Wolf River. I can tell by the shape and the size at this time of the year. Still gonna get that fruit, no matter what. You can see it all in here. I hate that this tree catches fire blight. It's just because we live on this lake and it's so wet and humid all the time. This tree would perform like crazy like in the north. I'm gonna have to show everybody grafting again so my northerners can actually take advantage of this and really blow up. That's a Wolf River right there. That flat pancake looking apple, definitely a Wolf River. But as you see, we still get apples. That's a Wolf River. Wolf River, if you're wondering why I keep mentioning that, Wolf River is one of the biggest apples ever. It's not the most delicious. I've never tasted one, but I've been growing them for the last good 4 or 5 years. That's a Wolf River. That's definitely a Wolf River right there. Right here. Yeah, it's doing pretty good, huh? It look bad and the fire blight is bad, but it's doing pretty good for what it's worth. So before we go, let me show you a couple more trees and we're gonna get on out of here. Here are my Lowquat trees. This is the champagne right here. I put this in later, that's why she is not as big. The champagne Lowquat, every year they're loaded full of fruit and then they all fall off and a new growth, just like this. And then the new growth goes crazy. And I'm sure it's just because they're just not mature enough to hold all the fruit and they want to do some growing. So this has been going on for years. When I say I have thousands of fruit on these trees, thousands of fruit, thousands of blooms. And they just always fall off and then go crazy with the growth. But that's okay. Let them grow. That's what I say. Let them grow. They'll give me fruit one day. Now, this one, this is my Lowquat tree. I call this is Diana from the Garden Love channel. I named this after my friend in California because she inspired me to purchase these trees. These trees grow native all over our state of South Carolina, but she said you still need one in your yard, one for yourself. So I said, okay, just for her. And I kid you not, I don't know how many years ago that was, six years ago or more. And here we are, right here with Diana from the Garden Love channel here on YouTube. This Lowquat tree is inspired by her. Oh, look at her, look. That's a fruit right there, and it's actually sticking on. That's a Lowquat right there. See it? Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. And that's ready to eat. Oh, several. Wow. Let's get that. Something, feel like something done got at it first before me. Yeah, that ain't no good. Let me see. If anything, I want the seeds. Yeah, birds been pecking on that. But I'ma save it for the seeds. Okay, I put that in my pocket. But as you see, it's some more fruit up there. And that's super ripe. Man, I want to get that. But it's way up there. It's way up there. Okay. I'm going to just let the birds have it, I guess. I sure would love to taste it, because if you've never tasted a Lowquat, I'll describe them to you. But this is her in all her glory. Her Highness, Diana. She is beautiful, shaped nice, and this area that's missing right here, the only reason this area is open is because I grafted a piece off of this tree years ago, and I shouldn't have done it. I think it was one of these knots, and that was a branch coming off, and I should have left it alone so it can be perfectly rounded off like my other Lowquat tree. But this is it, you guys. Not bad, huh? Now, before I go, I want to show y'all one of my trees I never talk about, but everybody always asks me about. But before we talk about that last tree, let me show you a few more trees for honorable mention. Here is a couple more of my pecan trees that I don't really talk about too much. This is the Pawnee, fairly new. I think it's been in the ground like a year. And this, I always forget the name of this. It's a not a difficult name. The Cato. This is the Cato pecan, and every year this little tree gives me pecans. Now, this is one of the first pecan trees I've ever moved. It used to be over there, then I had it over here, and then I finally put it here and left it. And now it's finally coming back, and it's doing great. It has doubled in size, and it's nice and sturdy and strong this year. So that's two more pecan trees. And this is my LSU Gold fig tree. Now, my LSU Gold is one of the highest producing fig trees that I got besides the Chicago Hardy. I got to take all these vines off because that does restrict growth. But this is a wonderful tree. If you ever get it, please get it. Trust and believe. You won't regret it. It's a delicious yellow, greenish. It tastes like jam. Beautiful tree. And this big tree literally was a chili dog method off of this little guy here. This is the parent to this. I grafted, air layered that off with the chili dog method years ago. And look, that still hasn't grown. Another tree before we get to the last honorable mention is the Anna apple and the Dorset golden. I grafted the Dorset golden onto the Anna apple, and every year it gives me fruit whether I want it or not. This year is I don't know why it's so sad, but it ain't putting out a lot of fruit, but it's definitely putting out fruit. So Anna and Dorset, they doing the doggone thing. I'm just letting her get her bearings back, because there's a story behind this tree. Like all my trees got a story. This tree right here, this is beaver damage. Again, the beaver came in and bit this tree. I'm gonna show you. Down this low, well, even lower, down here to ground level. And then, as you can see, it grew off into two separate trees. The Dorset Golden and the Anna. This was both the Dorset, both the Anna, but I grafted on the Dorset Golden onto this one. So now I have both trees in one. And I left both, but this is it. So I'm waiting for her to finally get her bearings. So, you know, get a little bit mature, because it was dramatic. Because believe it or not, this tree used to be as wide as this area and up to that roof. I used to have a chicken coop right here, and that chicken poop fed it, and she went crazy. She was huge. So she's still getting her bearings back, but she'll be back. I'm not rushing her, just like I didn't rush Bonita. Now, you guys, last but not least, before the dark hits me, I want to show you this. I always say, Led, do you grow pawpaw? I said, I sure do. These are my pawpaw trees right here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this little pawpaw tree, well, these pawpaw trees I got years ago from a friend of mine. I'm not going to, his name is Adam Ness. And he gave me a pawpaw tree, and then I got more from a online buyer that I don't deal with anymore. And that's what I've been doing. So this is all pawpaw. All of these together are here. All the way up there. You see them way up there? Let me show you. All the way up to the top. Maybe 10 feet, 10, 15 feet tall. All pawpaw in there. If you can see that. So hopefully we'll be getting some fruit soon. So I wanted to make sure I showed you. Because everybody is always like, Led, show us the pawpaw tree. And I always either forget or just say, eh. So there you go. I grow the pawpaw tree as well. If there is a tree that you're wondering if I grow, go ahead and ask me down in the comments, and I'll make a list, make sure that we do another video and show you if I grow it. Because I know, I'm looking around now, I left out all kind of stuff, okay? So hit me up, and to be honest with you, grow the best way you can, okay? That's all I can say. I said I was gonna stop trying to grow mangoes, didn't I? Yep. I sure did say I was gonna stop trying to grow mangoes, didn't I? I sure did. I sure did say I was gonna stop trying to grow mangoes. I said I sure am gonna stop trying to grow cherries, didn't I? Didn't I say that several times? I said I ain't buying no more avocados, didn't I? Grow the best way you can. All right, Led Farmer 73. I hope you enjoyed this Led Farmer field trip without Wi-Fi, without it being live. Just straight positive around here, y'all. Led Farmer 73. I love you, and I'm out. Peace.